What's your pattern? And can you count saying in 6/8? Do like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Go. Watch the baton dipping. Draw it with the baton. 2, 3, 2. There you go. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. See how much more smooth that is?
Yeah.
That's already easier for Sid to sing from a legato standpoint as well. You feel that? It probably feels like you having to be like, but it really, it's so much more flowing and so much more easy. Okay? What else did you see?
Well, when your left hand was doing anything, you put it right here, which is kind of
Yeah,
odd.
I realized that after a while. I was like, yeah, I'll put it there.
Yeah, Maddie's.
I liked how you're giving us the cutoffs on the breath marks, but the only thing is they were kind of in a weird spot, like you gave them like right here, which was kind of confusing for me, but wouldn't know how you would do it differently, but.
So, well, let's talk about cutoffs for a second. What do you think the best way is to cut off?
Is there a best way?
It depends on the situation. Realize that if you do something like this, or like this, your singers are going to go.
If you
When
just
they
do like
cut
a little, like a,
You could just do loud the winds howl, dun, just a little hoop, just to show a little pause. That's one place where if you did put pause in your pattern, it would be clear without you having to go at the end, you know? What about at the end of something big? What if it's a huge, big, loud chord? How do you cut it
a
off?
circle kind of, a little.
Kind of. I always feel that if it's something bigger like that, you want to release it with breath as opposed to cutting it off. So to go, great. Not so great. Because they're going to go with the sounds. Yeah.
Kind of give it a.
Exactly. Think about always, just like thinking as a singer, when you release music, if you release it here, you're going to make things hard. If you release it with breath, so much easier. You're not using this, you're not getting this involved to make things tense and tight. Okay? Sorry, that turned into a cutoff discussion. So let's let Mario go again. So work on those two things, more fluidity, and then you're doing some great stuff with dynamics at the first part, and then I love the top of the second page, but then when you got back to Speed Bonnie Boat, bottom of the previous page, or the second page, it's not that much softer. It's only one dynamic level down. So still lead us. Okay? And actually, you know what? This will help. Okay, we're good. All right, where y'all start? I apologize for my mistakes I made. This will help. Did that help or hurt?
I did something specifically that it was probably smoother because I was counting the whole time.
Especially when you start to get, have that consistent 16-note rhythm under you. With this 1 second that I was able to look up, so much more flowing in your pattern because you were thinking da 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 da, even though they weren't singing anything differently. So that's the type of thing. And 2 I think is the hardest. It really is, just because there's really not a lot going on. So if you feel like things are getting stopped, you really got to think about what the music that's happening between the beats and make that happen the whole time. Okay? What'd you guys see? Yes, Joe.
Your baton was coming up, like, if you were drawing it on a piece of paper, your paper would kind of curve up like this.
Yeah, you and Maddie both need to work a little bit more on, well actually, and Amanda, we've seen thus far. You all have different things you need to work on in terms of the drawing thing. You, it's the out to the side. Maddie and Mario, it's the coming up thing. So really, when you're practicing, think as if, stand in front of a piece of paper and draw with a pencil and see what that's like. Because you're going to feel where you want to come back with stuff, and that's not as clear for your singers. What else?
Well, the ictus is a lot more clear. It felt like more of a point than a loop.
Right, exactly.
So.
Yeah, the second time through much better. It's those things where, again, if you think more flow, that flow through the beat, which then will give you more weight on that beat, it's not going to thunk, but it's going to be clear. Before it was kind of, and now you went, you knew exactly where it was, because the speed was consistent the whole time. Okay? Good, but try it, look with your hands. Sweet bonny boat, like a bird on a wing. Top. Okay. So already you went back to. It didn't have any movement in it whatsoever. What's the one description you have of the tempo for this?
Flowing.
Yeah. You're not giving us that right now. You're giving us. Okay, maybe. Okay, let's go. It doesn't have to be faster, but you can show more movement in the pattern. Does that make sense? Okay. Risk. You got it.
All right.
Sweet bonny boat, like a bird on a wing. Much better, Mario. Onward the sailors cry. Balance posture. Carry the lad that's born to be king, over the sea to sky. Let the winds howl, let the waves roar, thunderclaps rend the air. Play with the text, make us work. Baffled our foes, stand by the shore, follow, they will not dare. Good, let's stop there. We're giving you a lot more music than you're putting it out. Does that make sense? We're doing things like we're making text work, we're doing crescendo without places there's supposed to be no breath, and you're not giving us that yet, But they all like this one, so they're doing it better. Okay? So when you're watching this tape, think about it. I would actually watch it with the sound off and sing along and see what you're giving yourself. Because I think there's a lot more in you to give. I don't know.
I'm thinking about stuff
Right.
now, so.
And that's hard, at the beginning. But no, a lot of stuff is much more, the flow is much better. Would you guys agree? Yeah, the minute you start thinking about things moving better, and it wasn't any faster, you just were moving your hands